I went to school at MIT and Harvard, so we went there for 2.5 weeks. Well, you really can't be an architect anymore. We were feeling terrible, and you spoke with me very quiet, very nice. I remember really the day. We spoke, and you said, it's going to be okay. You can be an architect. And I cried.
He came to us, we started to work. After 1 year, he started to speak. He went then back to Harvard and showed himself as a speaking person. And they said to him, how did it happen? We can't believe it, that it happened. Now, my question is, things like this happen, and we see them daily. And the question is, what has happened to the brain? How did the brain change in order to allow for the task to be done? And what is doing the task to the brain?
First and probably most important thing about the center is they give you hope.
צלם אלוקים של האדם זה הדעת, ולהחזיר לאדם את דעתו ותפיסתו זה להחזיר לו את חייו.
Professor Feuerstein developed the dynamic assessment tool designed to identify a person's learning potential. Instead of defining a person as deficient, the dynamic assessment reveals how his strengths can be used to repair his weaknesses. Simultaneously, Professor Feuerstein mapped the many learning processes, such as collecting data, comparison, analysis, and synthesis, that enable a person to acquire knowledge. These processes form the basis of the instrumental enrichment program, a unique method that enables teaching these learning processes to anyone, be it people with special needs or university students. In order to achieve his true potential, a person needs a modifying environment that believes in him and encourages his advancement.
Most doctors tend to tell you that the future is not going to be very optimistic and you're just going to have to live with it, you know, that sort of thing. Whereas the center, they give you the feeling and the knowledge, and the knowledge is based on real results, that no matter what state the person is in and when they arrive, they can always improve. And it's never too late.
אני השתמשתי במילה אני מאמין, כי לא היה לי בסיס תיאורטי שיסביר את האמונה הזאת. אבל הוכחתי את זה בצורה אמפירית, בצורה ממשית, ניסיונית, הנה כך וכך ילדים, כך וכך וכאלה. אבל עכשיו זכיתי, ואני מברך את הקדוש ברוך הוא שזיכה אותי לחיות בתקופה של מהפכה עצומה במדעי המוח, שמוכיחים שהמוח משתנה יותר, בצורה יותר מהירה, יותר חזקה, יותר קבועה, מאשר יתר חלקי הגוף.
Rachel Emunah was having speech therapy from about 3 weeks old. She wasn't going to say hello the next day. What were they doing? They weren't just working on a skill. They were working on cognitive exercises, which were helping to form the brain of this child from its earliest days.
Our brain is formed by the type of tasks we impose on him.
Yes.
At the heart of the professor's programs is his theory of mediated learning, which describes a special quality of interaction between a learner and a person in order to increase the learner's level of understanding and cognition.
First the red, then the yellow, then a green, at the end a blue. Now it's your turn. You want me?
The red. The yellow. Yellow.
And then the yellow. Good job. Very good.
And then
Look,
the,
look first.
And then the green.
Green,
And then the
blue. Perfect.
There's a certain amount that we sort of learn innately, but sometimes for some people they actually need somebody in between them and the stimuli that they're seeing.
Mediated learning is the art of helping someone explore their world. Move a little bit forward, making things more accessible to them within it. A little bit forward. It rolls. Push a little bit forward. Oh, that's very good. You can push yourself. 1, 2, and...
But with her, if she doesn't have it mediated to her, she might not actually pick it up. But when somebody's mediated to her, you actually see how she can do anything.
12 hours after his wedding, Second Lieutenant Aharon Karov was called to war. He suffered a severe head injury that left him in critical condition.
נפגשתי עם פרופסור פוירשטיין אחרי 6 חודשים מהפציעה, והוא בא ואמר לי, אתה צריך עכשיו לשבת וללמוד דברים שחדשים לך בשביל שככה אתה תבוא ותמשיך בחיים שלך. לא משנה אם זה גמרא או שזה אנגלית, שאני לא יודע אנגלית, וכל מיני דברים כאלה, לבוא ולהמשיך. כשאני אסיים את השיקום, כאילו, אני רוצה להיות הרבה יותר ממה שהייתי לפני זה. כאילו, לא להיות כמו שהייתי לפני זה. כי לא מעניין, זה נראה לי המקום הזה נותן לך משהו שוואלה, אתה רוצה להיות הרבה יותר ממה שהיית. כי אם אתה תלמד גמרא, תלמד אנגלית, תלמד כל הדברים האלה, אז אתה יותר ממה שהיית לפני זה. דבר אחד שאני כן יודע שבראש הלך לי, זה התאים של הדיבור. אין לי תאים של דיבור בראש. איך אני מדבר? דבר ראשון, יש מישהו מלמעלה, שבגלל זה אני מדבר. דבר שני, אני גם לא רופא בדיוק, אבל אני יודע שיש תאים אחרים במוח שלוקחים את התאים של הדיבור.
I saw miracles every single day. I saw people that came in there that you wouldn't imagine that they were going to be okay one day, or they were going to function one day. I'm not talking about be normal, I'm talking about function, you know, where you got a kid that's just lying on the floor and doing absolutely nothing. Looks, and then, you know, a couple of years later you see him doing math. Not to mention my own child, who, when he started in the center, the neurologist in New York who looked at him said he's 4, he's not talking it, he's never going to talk. And you see him now, he's 14 years old, mainstreamed in a regular school, and you see him a wonderful, functioning, sensitive being. But it started from the fact that they believed in him and taught him how to organize his world and to function.
הנכד שלי, שהוא עכשיו גמר בגרות בגיל 22, תסמונת דאון, הבן של הרב רפי.
When Elchanan Feuerstein was born with Down syndrome, his grandfather's lifelong work was now being applied to great effect within his own family.
We taught him how to focus. We taught him how to imitate the lips movement, important key for speech.
פן ירדוף, גול אדם אחר רוצח, כי חם לבו וסגור.
Mainstreaming for us is the most important thing. When my son was in the classroom, he didn't have just one mediator. He had 30 mediators. He didn't have just 1 hour of speech therapy. He had 8 hours of speech therapy each day. Why? Because he was exposed to normative language, to normative vocabulary, to normative articulation of words and sentences.
What can you do better than that? Give someone their life back, give them the opportunity to be a successful human being in society, marry, have kids, and do great things. So Feuerstein is and all the people who work with him. I've been given a great gift from God, and great talent to take that and use those tools to do things that no one else can do. And no one else can do it just like them. And that's worth investing in.
Today, there are 73 authorized training centers in 40 countries, and hundreds of books and papers have been written worldwide about the Feuerstein method. The instrumental enrichment tools can also enable people to overcome difficulties that result from cultural differences, as in the case of Ethiopians in Israel. Rabbi Reuven Feuerstein envisions the method as part of every school's curriculum.
מאיפה צצו כל עשרות האחוזים האלה של ליקויי למידה? אנחנו טוענים שזה תוצר מאוד לוגי, מאוד הגיוני, מאוד עקבי, של התעלמות מנושא מאוד חשוב, והוא הקניה שיטתית של אסטרטגיות למידה וחשיבה לילדים שלנו. תחשוב על הילד שבא לכיתה בלי היכולת להשוות ולהתמקד ולאסוף נתונים, איך הוא ילמד? אז הוא באמת ילמד פחות טוב, ואז המערכת תאבחן אותו, ותיתן לו כותרת כאילו האשמה היא בו, כאילו הגנטיקה שלו היא דפוקה, סרוטה, לא תקינה. ואנחנו נאמר, לא רבותיי, הילד לא לקוי למידה, אל תפנה את האצבע המאשימה אליו, הוא בסך הכל לקוי הוראה. לא לימדת אותו, לא ציידת אותו, למה אתה מתפלא שהוא לא יודע לתפקד?
Osnat and Daniel Sened are a married couple who benefited from the Feuerstein methods and have successfully integrated themselves into mainstream life on the kibbutz where they live.
אני מאושרת, שמחה, קורנת. אני מאוד אוהבת את חיי הקיבוץ.
Osnat thrives in her job as a nursery assistant, while Daniel takes care of the library and is a full-time worker in the kibbutz factory. Daniel has also nurtured his love of poetry, having a number of his works professionally published and featuring illustrations by Osnat.
שיר המעטים אשר לשירה, אתם ידידיי, ולא חשוב כמה אתם. זה שיר האוהבים אשר למילה, אתם כוח הביטוי, לא משנה מספרכם. רק האחד כי יאהב, עושה כוח רב. תסמונת דאון זה לא מפריע לתפקד.
Our first formal meeting at the Feuerstein Center was a consultancy. Professor Feuerstein, with his very wise eyes, really looked at Rachel and Mona, and then he turned to us and said, prepare for her wedding, because she will, please God, be married. He wasn't just trying to make us feel good, he believed it would be true, and he made us believe that it would be true.
They're not just a school for a particular age group or an early intervention centre, but they're partners that accompany you from newborn into the future.
I want people to be dependent on the others, to be related to the others, to help others and to be helped by others. You love me, therefore, don't accept me as I am. You don't just impose on him because you want him to be like you. You impose on him because you love him.
כתוב, אשר ברא אלוקים לעשות. הקדוש ברוך הוא ברא, אז למה צריך עוד את המילה לעשות? המדרש אומר, אתה, האדם, צריך להשלים ולתקן את הבריאה. אז אתה שואל, אני בורא? לא, אני עושה. אני במידה מסוימת מצווה לתקן מה שהבריאה לא השלימה.